There was a story running around social media for a minute, and it was just so insane that it just had to kind of be true. And at least it seemed so fantastical, or at least it would have a few years ago. But in current year, is it really that crazy? Okay, because there was a report that a public school district out there was putting a litter box in a bathroom because one of their students identified as a cat. Now, I know that seems patently retarded, but does it seem that retarded? Okay, because just take a look, okay, just do a little refresher course on what's happening in Loudoun County, Virginia, or what has over the past year. Okay, you got chicks with dicks walking in there, raping students. So do we really think that an influx of furries is that far out? Okay, what's a furry? The less you know, the better, okay? I'm doing y'all a favor by just glossing over this one if you're unso initiated, and if you are aware of what a furry is, there's not enough gas in the world. But thankfully, I guess, for the time being, until we see this pop up again, it was some of that goddamn misinformation. School district denies litter boxes for students identifying as furries. This is a real headline, January 26, 2020. It's a load of kitty litter. Ugh. Michigan school district has debunked a wild claim that a school provided litter boxes for a student who identifies as a furry. People who dress up as anthropomorphic animals and have a massive... But yeah, about the most about the kindest recitation of what a furry is. People who dress up as anthropomorphic animals, yeah, in full costume, but I will spare you the gruesome details of these fucked individuals. A Facebook post detailing the humorous rumor, or hilarious, whatever, is blowing up online. There's no truth whatsoever to this false statement accusation, wrote Michael E. Sharo, the superintendent for Midland Public Schools near Detroit. Oh, if I would have known where this was taking place, I would have known it was bullshit, because ain't no black people out there being crazy enough to be fucking furries in public. At the school sit-down, concerned parent Lisa Hansen said she was really disturbed after reportedly learning from a student that at least one of our schools in our town, in one of the unisex bathrooms, again, you should be concerned there, full stop, unisex bathrooms, the fuck is wrong with you? A litter box for the kids that identifies cats. I'm all for creativity and imagination, but when someone lives in a fantasy world and expects others to go along with it, I have a problem with that. And speaking of which, Lia Thompson, the trans swimmer from UPenn, yeah, some of her teammates are finally speaking out. You know, the ones that have been oddly silent about their new transfer teammate who's beating the brakes off of all of the competition and leading to just wild success in all the swim meets. Yeah, they've been awfully quiet about things until the fact that this dude's walking around with her. We're just going to read this headline for how absurd this is. And I'll leave it up for you guys to decide what is more baffling, okay? A kid identifying as a fucking cat, or how a trans swimmer doesn't always cover up her male genitals. Yes, she does. Lia Thompson doesn't have the decency to cover up her feminine penis when walking around the bathroom, walking around the change room. Does she put pasties over her tits too? This fucking world, man. Sometimes I just want to check out. Sharing a locker room with transgender swimmer Lia Thompson has become a point of contention for some of her University of Pennsylvania her teammates. Some of her, like, I mean, how could you be so bigoted? Like, that one right there, obviously very easily passing transgender athlete. And it's just, stop being a bigot. It's definitely awkward because Lia still has a dick and is still attracted to... Oh, fucking god. So this dude's walking around with a fucking stiffy before he sticks it into this fucking weirdly cut one piece. Are we serious? Is this real life? Are we fucking playing around? Yeah, imagine that. Being a college age man around fucking naked athletic women, okay? I don't know if you've seen swimmers in real life, or even if you just recently watched the Olympics. These broads are in top fucking shape, and they look good doing it. And apparently, Leah's feminine penis has taken notice of that. Unbelievable. Actually, it's not. It's fucking... It's so great. It's so great, because that just means all of this shit's just gonna fail faster, because this is so absurd. Lia has told her teammates that she dates women. Why? Soliciting dates? As she's toweling off her lady balls? Okay. Well, Lia covers herself with a towel. Sometimes there's a decent amount of nudity. Yeah, because they got a shower together. It would be hot under different contexts, but fuck are we doing here? If this was an all-women's swim team, okay, this would be a different story. But this dude, man, this is unbelievable. And others have had glimpse at her private parts. Why? There's no difference there. Are trans women or women, you bigot? She stated the team members have raised their concern to the coach. So has Lia. Oh, just not concerns that have been raised. Trying to get Thomas ousted from the female locker room, but got nowhere. Yeah, they were just like, shut up, bigots. Multiple swimmers have raised it multiple different times, multiple different ways, multiple different positions. The UPenn swimmer said, but we were basically told that we could not ostracize Lia by not having her in the locker room, and if you guys like winning, you'll shut your fucking mouths. Or, you know, if Lia prefers it, perhaps keep them open. But we are basically told that we cannot ostracize Lia by not having her in the locker room, and there's nothing we can do about it. We've basically been told to roll over and accept it. That's what I want to hear more about. But we cannot use our own locker room. Oh, you can. You just gotta mind the dicks. It's really upsetting because Lia doesn't seem to care about how it makes anyone else feel. Yeah, it's pretty fucking obvious. The 35 of us, are just supposed to accept being uncomfortable in our own space in the locker room for, like, the feelings of one. Yeah, you are, because you probably supported this in theory until it gets put into practice, and you're like, what the fuck? Welcome to reality, bitch. Stop being a bigot. Like, look at that. That's a picture of that swim team there. And as you can see, yep, not a paunch in sight, but there is something hanging in front of one of them there. Boy, isn't that fucking hilarious. That's definitely going to be fucking thumbnail, because that's just that's just so perfect. I like the one in the orange. One in the red's not that bad. The chick in the white sunglasses is pretty hot though. She said UPenn handling the locker room issue is emblematic of the school's overall approach to Lia Thompson's controversy. The school bending over backwards and sucking its own female dick to make Thomas feel welcome without seeming to care how it affects her teammates. But I guess we'll see hers story, because Thomas, 22, plans to break her longtime silence and exclusively share her story with Sports Illustrated. You know, this C+ swimmer on the men's team who transitioned over and then just started to fucking destroy records, okay? Gain notoriety that way instead of just fading into obscurity and then, I don't know, get an accounting degree and then just live a fucking banal life. But no, now she shares her story by the shore? What? No. In Sports Illustrated, because now all of a sudden swimming's very popular. I'm sure you're probably going to get the cover as well. So hopefully that swimsuit fits tight so you don't have any embarrassing images. I don't know who this cuck is. She stated the teammates have raised their concern with their coach. Yeah, like, come on. That guy right there looks like a staunch defender of women now, doesn't he? That's definitely not the look of the face of somebody who sat in a dark corner smoking a Marlboro Red while somebody takes care of his wife, now doesn't it? No, definitely not. That looks like somebody who would stand up for the rights of women. He's a male feminist after all. I'm the swimming coach, and stop being mean to that large swimmer over there. You're being a body shamer. Mind the 6 inches. Shit is fucking hilarious, dude. But yeah, don't be like these bigots. Don't. Trans women are real women, right? And if they're making the sport a little bit more enjoyable to watch, god damn it, stop standing in the way. We've already heard stories of her teammates, and things have been very hard on Lia and hard on her teammates as well, and you're just trying to make life a little bit more distressing. I'm waiting with bated breath for that Sports Illustrated interview. Not really. Couldn't care less. But with that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.